Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Money Mike, and today we are going to be talking about Survivor Series, Wrestlemania 40, and whether or not Cody Rhodes should finish the story at Survivor Series or WrestleMania. Now, the reason I am doing this video is because of what happened on Raw last night, and for me, I thought, okay, you know what, Cody and Jey winning the tag titles, it's a good way to pass time until we get to WrestleMania season. But then they lost the tag titles. I assumed that they would at least hold them until Crown Jewel in a couple weeks. And then they would lose, and they will lose in the rematch at Crown Jewel instead. That way, you could have at least played off a little bit of what happened the last time WWE was in Saudi Arabia with Jimmy and Jey, and how Jey cost Roman the tag titles, and now Jey is defending the tag titles, and then Jimmy cost Cody and Jey at Crown Jewel. But they went and did that whole angle on Raw last night where Cody and Jey are now no longer champions. Now, if anybody was paying attention to SmackDown this past Friday, Roman Reigns pretty much sent sent Jimmy to Raw to fix the problem, per se. He didn't like the fact that Cody and Jey were on his show, so to speak, or the fact that they were tag team champions. So Roman told Jimmy to go do something about it. So Jimmy showed up on Raw. He cost them the tag titles. So that got me thinking, why would they lose the title so soon? Especially given we are only still in October, and we still got plenty of shows left to where you could have had Cody and Jey drop the titles in December, before the Royal Rumble. Like I said, Crown Jewel. It feels like it's too soon unless there's a plan for Cody Rhodes to finish the story at Survivor Series. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, how do you get to that point? And, well, what about War Games? Because obviously they're setting something up here with War Games, right? Judgment Day, Bloodline, their little alliance. Obviously, or hopefully maybe this Friday on SmackDown, we'll see, finally, we've seen Rhea Ripley and Paul Heyman interact. Perhaps now we'll get a interaction between Rhea and Roman Reigns, which I think would be a very interesting segment if that were to happen. Especially, Roman says SmackDown is his show, and so if Roman wants to call the shots, but Rhea wants to call the shots, I think that would be an interesting contrast. So, obviously, like I said, these two, the Bloodline and Judgment Day, are going to team up for eventually War Games at Survivor Series. We know Crown Jewel is coming up in a couple weeks. We got to get through that. But, WWE also last week announced that we have general managers again. Nick Aldis, the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, is now the SmackDown General Manager. Adam Pearce exclusively runs Monday Night Raw. It almost feels like we're hitting the reset button almost. We have general managers again. It feels like to me like the WWE is setting things up to get ready for I guess, going forward. How they want to do things going forward. And with general managers again on each show, I mean, I guess that could mean we do brand versus brand for Survivor Series, but I don't want that to be the case. Because it does seem, at least for this year, we are getting some sort of combination of Sami Zayn, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, and John Cena, and essentially Cody Rhodes against the Bloodline and Judgment Day combination. You know, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dirty Dom, Jimmy, and Solo. But that would mean Roman Reigns is not in this match. So that's 5. Unless they want to do 6-on-6, or maybe Jimmy gets taken out of it. Roman doesn't want Jimmy in the match, so Roman takes Jimmy's place, or something that, whatever. But as of now, I'm counting up, that's 5-on-5 without Roman Reigns. So what does Roman Reigns do with Survivor Series? Is he going to be in a champion versus champion match against Seth Rollins? I mean, that would be kind of cool, but I mean, I don't want to go back to the Raw versus SmackDown stuff. I like how we intertwine things just naturally, not just because, oh, hey, it's Survivor Series, that means the brands have to face off. I don't want to go back to champion versus champion, and then you're stuck in scenarios where each champion can't afford to lose, but somebody has to lose, and it's just convolutes the booking. I liked what we had last year where everything just felt natural. Everything came together naturally, kind of the same way we're seeing now, with everybody kind of going against the Judgment Day and the Bloodline. The Judgment Day and the Bloodline are coming together to try to stop the baby faces from coming after them. Like, everything feels natural. It feels good. Obviously, we're still not going to get William Regal back on TV so he can say War Games. But it all is pointing to War Games at Survivor Series. But this is why I propose this question. Because Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso no longer have the tag titles. And why would you take the tag titles off of them so soon? If the goal is, because what are you going to do with them until WrestleMania season if you already took the tag titles off of them? I think them having the tag titles until Royal Rumble or at some point in December would have been fine, and then you have Jimmy cost them the tag titles, or something to that effect. That way it's closer to WrestleMania season, so but there's still so much time now since you took the titles off of them last night. So that got me thinking. They did the showdown between Cody and Roman. Should we get that at Survivor Series? And honestly, I'm going to say yes. I think you should have Cody mad that Roman Reigns essentially sent Jimmy to Raw to cost them the tag titles. He said, he's not happy about it, so he wants a match with Roman. Maybe you have Cody go through a gauntlet or something. Jay helps Cody win the gauntlet, and then Cody gets his rematch with Roman. That way, also, you don't waste a Royal Rumble win on Cody Rhodes. Because again, it's one of those things to me where it's like, we know Cody's going to face Roman, and we know Cody's on Raw, Roman's on SmackDown, and we know the only way is through the Royal Rumble. So you would essentially waste another Royal Rumble on Cody Rhodes. When I think Gunther would be the best person to win the Royal Rumble this year, and then go on to beat Seth Rollins for the world title at WrestleMania, so Gunther can have his run on Monday Night Raw. As the world champion, he can drop the Intercontinental title to Chad Gable or whoever, like in December or something. I don't know. but have Gunther should win the Royal Rumble. That's my point. It shouldn't be Cody Rhodes. And if you want to have Gunther eliminate Cody Rhodes, that's fine too. And Cody gets in through the Elimination Chamber, whatever the case may be. But, again, why do all that when we can just start anew in that Survivor Series? Now let's think about this for a second. AEW's home away from home is Chicago. AEW loves going to Chicago. Now, obviously, CM Punk does not work there, and that's a whole other video whether CM Punk is going to show up at Survivor Series. Whether that is the case or not. I mean, that's, like I said, that's another video that I plan on making, talking about free agency in pro wrestling. So make sure you do subscribe to this channel for that video and more wrestling content. But imagine this. The headline the other day that I read was that, Tony Khan was declaring war on WWE when he, or it was something to that effect. I can't remember what it was. But it was something about how Tony Khan is declaring war, or WWE is declaring war on them, or whatever it was. Tony Khan, and that's another video that I want to make soon too, because his tweets are freaking insane. But just imagine this: the main event of Survivor Series, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes 2. Cody Rhodes finishes the story at Survivor Series in Chicago. AEW's home away from home. You have their former EVP win the world title in their home away from home in Chicago. I mean, the only better way this works is if this was in Jacksonville, okay? But just imagine, okay, let's go back to SmackDown, okay? Y'all see the interaction between Jade and Charlotte where Nick Aldis said, hey, Charlotte, you're going to get another title match because she's Charlotte Flair. I mean, even though there is some logistics to it, logical sense this time around, but, she starts to walk away, and then, wow, hey, there's Jade. And Triple H goes, hey, Charlotte, have you met? And then, back scratcher there. And have you met Jade? And, and Triple H, and you just see the smirk on Triple H's face when you see them, Charlotte and Jade, had that little small interaction last on SmackDown. And you just kind of see that smirk on his face and kind of like, haha, I got one up on you, Tony. Like, it almost feels like now there's competition. It feels like WWE is trying to one-up AEW. Saying, haha, look, I got your person. We're making her look like a bigger star than you ever did. It was like, how else do you get a one-up on Tony Khan? By having his former EVP win the world title in Chicago. That's what you do. I mean, look, like I said, CM Punk is a whole other video I'm planning on talking about later. But Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in Survivor Series, honestly, I'd be down for it because at this point, we need a world champion on SmackDown. That's there every week. If Roman wants to still be part-time, I'm cool with that. I mean, look, Roman Reigns, when you hear that music play and his music hits, you know it's a pretty big deal. You know the show is a pretty big deal. So I get that's what WWE went for. When they started all this part-time champion nonsense with Brock Lesnar and The Rock and Goldberg, was that, hey, when their champion is here, this is a pretty big deal. You need to tune into the show. But it just feels so overdone where he's not defending, where it's just like, man, can we just get a... It almost feels like you want to get it over with. But I just feel like, to me, like, why else would you take the tag titles off of Cody and Jey so soon if you're not going to do Roman and Cody at Survivor Series? That's what it feels like to me. Like, why would you... Like, I get the interaction, the point of the interaction, but could WWE have been telling us that, hey, this is going to happen sooner than WrestleMania? That's the point of this video. You know, should Cody finish the story at Survivor Series? Should it be the Royal Rumble? I mean, remember, John Cena won his 16th world title against AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. It wasn't WrestleMania. So why not have Cody, beat Roman Reigns at Survivor Series? Maybe the Royal Rumble, Why not have Cody win now? And you can always bring Roman back for the rematch at the Royal Rumble. And especially if you can get The Rock, and, again, that parlays into everything else, because The Rock talked about how there was a setup for, they agreed upon a match for this past WrestleMania where Cody won the Royal Rumble, but they couldn't agree on a story. So it was like they went with Cody because they couldn't get The Rock. And now it's just kind of like, hey, if you can get The Rock for WrestleMania, why not have Roman drop the title sooner to Cody? Hell, it even works to where you have the Bloodline beat up Cody Rhodes after the match, and Roman's mad, and, Jimmy and Silver beating him up, and all of a sudden, if you smell, and The Rock makes the save, and you set up the match for WrestleMania 40 that way, and then Cody can face whoever he wants to face the winner of the Elimination Chamber. Because like I said, Gunther, he wins the Rumble, he challenges Seth Rollins, boom, that's your Raw main event. So again, I pose the question to y'all. Should Cody Rhodes finish the story sooner? Should it be Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, or should it be at WrestleMania? Should we delay this out and keep this going? I mean, hey, I'm cool if it goes to WrestleMania, but I mean, I'm all for Cody beating him sooner, and for us to have a world champion that's on SmackDown weekly. And also, with SmackDown going to USA Network now, starting in 2024, why not have the American Nightmare be your champion on SmackDown on the USA Network? It works, especially if he's going to show up every week. So, comment below, what do you guys think? Should Cody and Jey have lost the tag titles so soon? Should they have waited to lose the titles at Crown Jewel? Should it have been maybe at another time, closer to WrestleMania season? Let me know in the comments below. I've been your host, Money Mike, and I'll be back with more wrestling content coming up. I'm going to be talking wrestling free agency, including CM Punk potentially coming to WWE, and all about Tony Khan's tweets. I have a lot of videos I want to make coming up, so subscribe to this channel for more wrestling content. And I will see you next time on the next video right here on this channel.